I'm Maurice Kenner, Circuit Public Defender for the Atlanta Judicial Circuit, which serves Fulton County. Welcome to this edition of The Defender. As part of the Georgia Public Defender Council, our team advocates for those who are charged with a crime and who are within a certain income threshold. Our public defenders fight for the best possible outcome because we believe that everyone deserves fairness and mercy. Our first guest on our inaugural program works tirelessly to ensure that very fairness and mercy are received by our clients. She also leads the Georgia Public Defender Council. Executive Director Ali, welcome.
Thank you.
Director Ali, why did you choose to become a public defender?
First of all, thank you for that warm introduction. That was really nice of you. So over 3 decades ago, I was in the position of your APD1, the very entry level, right? And I started in this office. And I just have to thank Vernon Pates because he hired me. It was supposed to be a 3-year gig in public interest. And then I stayed. And I stayed, and I stayed for 17 years. And I'm really happy that I stayed because it's gotten me to where I am today. And so I wanted to make sure that I could see public interest from the perspective of a defender, and to make sure that I could hopefully provide for the least of those who need us the most.
What are you most proud of in general with the council, and then specifically the Fulton County office?
So let me start with Fulton County office. The training that we got, the caseload, the camaraderie with friends who were mission focused on defending the powerless and those who needed us the most. And so that training has taken me through life, from the public defender's office to the child attorneys to juvenile court, and now to the council. And now the council, what am I proud of being with the council? Just to see the state of Georgia and see the different aspects of the state and where all our citizens who need us the most are.
Are there any special clients or stories that come to mind from your time at the Fulton office that you would like to share?
How many do you want? Let me tell you the one that resonates with me the most. I represented a young person. And I represented him twice, and both times we were successful. And this was a very big issue, a big charge, a big allegation. And you know, defenders, we want to really celebrate when we win. But when we got the second trial, and we went to trial, full-blown trial, and we won, I looked at him, and he was very young, and I said to myself, what did I give him? He came to me with no education. He came to me without structure. He came to me without support. And I was going to let him out, and then what? And so because of that, I thought about what we were feeling in the adult court came from a different place. It was a manifestation of what was happening in juvenile court. So I asked to be transferred to juvenile court, and I did. And then I became the director of the Child Attorney's Office, where we provided for young children who have been deemed without care. And I did that for a few years. Then I became the CEO for juvenile court. What I learned from the young men was to go to the roots of our problems. And what I learned was that without education, without technical skills, without support, without structure, we will always continue to have our clients back. And so fast forward to 2016, we started the first school in juvenile court. And because my very first day in juvenile court, it was nothing but young people just milling around. And I asked the question, what are they doing here? And they said they've been expelled or suspended. So I knew, going back to my young client in the public defender's office, that if he had some kind of education in juvenile court, then he never would have gotten to me. So we started LEAP with the help of our chief judge at that time, Bradley Boyd, and the deputy chief probation officer, Samuel Washington. We started LEAP, which was an educational program in court school to provide for children who have been disengaged from traditional academic engagement. Now, my babies came to school. They came every day. It was such a pleasure to see them. And in no time, about 60 of them got their GED. And I'm praying and I hope that they're on to better things. And so that's what I learned, that what you do in the public defender's office, you just cannot represent and release. You have to represent and renew.
That's awesome. Director Ali, what would you like the public to know about you?
That's a good question, because I'm sure the public has heard a lot about us. Let me tell you what the real deal is. We are public defenders. I'd like for them to know, like I said, my last question that you asked me, it's no longer enough to just represent and release our clients. We have to represent and renew, which means that we have to find socially responsive resources to target the needs of the citizens that we serve. And we're doing that now. We have LEAP in juvenile court. We have ladders, GPDC now, which means that the clients that we represent, when they leave the criminal justice system, they have an opportunity to stay with us and go to a technical school. Our first 11 young people just started, and to be in this program, you have to be between the ages of 18 to 24. This is the pilot, and for our pilot, we have, I believe, from maybe 7 or 11 young people who have started at the technical school. So we're excited about a partnership with our solicitor in Fulton County, Keith Gamage. We will be starting an MOU with him so that we can capture young people who live in the criminal justice system.
What is the current state of the Georgia Public Defender Council, Director Ali?
Okay, let me tell you the state of the Public Defender's Office, Georgia Public Defender Council. This is the best that we have done in the last 2 years. Let me share with you the news. We just signed HB 1391, which was sponsored by Stan Gunter, Bob Leverett, I believe William Bodie. I can't remember the rest of the names, but I acknowledge them the same. You know, 1391 gives us the parity with prosecutors, which gives our employees the acknowledgement that they need. It gives us the funding. And that was sponsored and effectively went into legislation last year, unanimously voted by both houses. We are so grateful for that. In addition to that, we have created 12 more offices across the state so that we can be closer to our clients that we serve. We have more employees than we've ever had in the history of the agency. We have more funding than we've ever had in the history of the agency, and that's the last 2 years. So I really want to take my time to thank the Judge Assembly, to thank those legislators who have been supportive, and most especially to thank the governor and the governor's office for being considerate of our request. That's what's going on. I mean, if you have time, we have 2 pages of achievement, but I know we don't have all that time. But I can tell you our employees have gotten raises in the last 2 years, in addition to the $5,000 that the governor gave for cost of living adjustment last year, and we're getting another $2,000 this year, in addition to all that money that we're asking for the legislators. 2022, 2023 have turned out to be the best for the agency. Now, do we have challenges? Yes, we do. We sometimes don't have enough employees, but we know that the most important thing we have to do is make sure that there is representation when it is needed. And so for that reason, we created the specialized unit. That's what they call it. I call them traveling lawyers, because we send them from Atlanta to every part of the state when there is a need for urgent representation. We are in partnership with the Council of Superior Court Judges to let us know when one of our clients, either because they've had a private attorney and they can no longer afford it, now they don't have an attorney, we will be there because we can do the work.
What would you consider GPDC's standout achievement since 2020?
HB 1391. HB 1391 is the one that gives us parity with prosecutors, and that's more funding for our employees. Because see, you have to take care of the employees so then they can achieve the mission of the agency.
Headed into 2023, what are your top priorities?
The same 2 that I came in with, to make sure that I can take care of our employees, to let them know that they are the spinal cord of this agency, and that the money that's been allocated will be used to their benefit. And you know why? Because if I don't take care of employees, they cannot take care of clients. because our clients are of utmost importance to us. That's the mission. That's our focus. And those are the two things that I pledge to always do. Take care of our employees, make sure they have work-life balance, make sure they're paid with whatever the taxpayers can afford to give to us, and then we turn around and take care of our employees, take care of our clients, and make sure that we provide them the most socially responsive resources to target their needs, put them in their rightful place in the society. Those are my two priorities.
Director Ali, what are some common misconceptions about GPDC and public defenders?
It's the one that we hear in the community all the time is that, are we real lawyers? Yes, we are. We're the best lawyers that money cannot pay for. We still want the money. I'm not saying we shouldn't get money, but we do this job with our heart. We do this job because we care. And I want the community to know that. And that we're a safety net, that we're here. We're not a fishing net. We don't take the food. We make sure that the people we catch, that we put them back in the society to be better citizens.
What do you want public defenders to know about you and your role as the executive director?
That I'm a public defender myself, that I have been a public defender for over 30 years, that I know what they go through every day. I know to make sure that I beg for funding. We have a 501c that we just created last year because we wanted to make sure that we can supplement. We don't have a whole lot of money in it yet, but we will, and that I will always be there to advocate for them because what? They are the spinal cord of this organization, and we cannot afford not to take care of them.
What is your message to them?
To all the employees?
Yes.
That I say thank you. That I thank them every day for doing what they do. It's a labor of love for the most part of it. That I want them to know that they're well appreciated. And for that, I will be always out there advocating for them.
Director Ali, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join me today.
You're very welcome, and thank you for having me.
It's been a pleasure having you on The Defender. Thank you for all of the hard work you do for the council and on behalf of the clients you serve. The Office of the Public Defender, Atlanta Circuit, is the largest public defender office in the state of Georgia. We handle more cases than any other office in the state. It is our duty to ensure that all indigent defendants are provided with their guaranteed fundamental constitutional rights by providing effective and zealous legal representation. This is free of charge once a defendant submits an application with a $50 fee and qualifies for services based on financial need. Attorneys and staff are unified in their commitment to provide the best legal defense. This office provides clients with representation after arrest, pre-indictment, advocates for bonds, represents them during trial, probation revocation proceedings, and follows through all the way, even when an appeal is necessary. This office is fully committed and qualified to handle all defendants' legal needs, no matter how minor the charge may be and no matter how complex the case may be. There is a division that specializes in cases involving accountability courts, which are special programs designed to meet the underlying needs of certain classes of clients. Specifically, we represent clients in drug court, behavioral health court, and veterans court. These services are available to adults as well as juvenile defendants. Each division of this office receives litigation support from staff, which is critical to our mission. This is a legal team with a noble duty to serve those who have no other means to secure legal representation. Again, these services are free to those who qualify. The work of a public defender is constantly evolving to meet the needs of those we serve. We take pride in working with the citizens of Fulton County to ensure that everyone receives necessary representation within our courts. If you want to learn more about our office, or if you think you or someone in your family may need our services, visit us at our website, gapubdef.org. Thank you for watching The Defender. I'm Maurice Kenner, and we'll see you next time.